Hi everybody and welcome to a Crossfire Sector battle report, Grey Cloaks versus Ember Guard. This is the second mission in the Crimson Eclipse campaign, and I played the first mission in my last Crossfire Sector video, and now you can play Crimson Eclipse as well, because at the time of the release of this video, the third add-on for Crossfire Sector is available to download free. It is available, along with all the other Crossfire Sector rules, the basic rules, and the first two add-ons on itch.io. So all of Crossfire Sector is now available on that website, and the link, of course, will be in the description. And besides the Crimson Eclipse campaign, you will also get game tokens in add-on 3, activation trackers and tokens for the activation trackers, as well as unit activation tokens. You will also get random terrain generation, optional of course. You will get advanced deployment, also optional, and then you will get 3 extra Crossfire Sector mission types that you can use along with those missions from the base game. Crimson Eclipse is a campaign where you choose the faction you want to play with, and the outcome of the missions will determine how you will proceed to future missions. In my case, my Grey Cloaks lost the first mission, so I am forced to proceed not to mission 2A but to mission 2B, Shrouded Threat. And I will also proceed with a disadvantage because my opponent will have +1 initiative in the entire battle. I should have met the Grey Cloaks in this mission, but I will choose another faction. And in this case, it's the Ember Guard. As usual, my Grey Cloaks are the mysterious types that are able to reroll 1 attack die and the melee die as well. And then we have the commander, because I play with the commander rule. Bel Atrian is back. He can take the initiative, he's here, and he can also dual wield when he melee attacks. The opponent is the Ember Guard, heavily armored and hard-hitting troops that are also very slow. And their leader, Tharn Malcor, has an extra attack range when he fires his weapon, and then he has a jetpack that maybe can bring him further up the battlefield when he melee attacks, and Tharn Malcor is here. The objective of the mission is to control the 3 center rows with most units at the end of round 6. And one special rule in this mission is Fog of War, so the max range when shooting is 3 squares. And the Ember Guard will win the roll-off, so they have to decide what to do. And they will choose to begin. And here we have the new activation trackers. So they will activate first, but they can only activate 1 unit. Remember, you can read all about the basic rules and the Crimson Eclipse campaign if you download the game. So they will activate this Ember Guard unit first. And then the Grey Cloaks will activate 2 units. So far, none of the forces will be able to shoot at each other, but the 3 central rows 6 to 9, will be the objective of the mission. So of course they will try to get here as fast as possible. Right now here in the first round, most of the units move forward. The Ember Guard can only move 2 squares. That's not a lot, but they will move as far as they can. Then we will proceed to round 2, and this is a good time to introduce the activation tokens. If you sometimes forget exactly which units have activated already, you can print out the activation tokens and use them during the games, and I will use them from this round. So again, we will begin with initiative, and again, we will have a +1 to the Ember Guard. And the Ember Guard will roll 1, the Grey Cloaks 2, so we will have to roll again. This time Ember Guard rolls a 5, that will be really hard to beat. So they will begin again, and they will once again choose to activate with 1 of their units first. So 1 unit will move forward. Then the Grey Cloaks will move with 2 units. Let's see what they do here. If this unit moves forward, he can actually shoot at the Ember Guard. And the Guard has a defense of 9 that will be really tough to beat even with a reroll. There is no bonus for attack quality, so the Grey Cloaks roll with +0, but they can reroll. In this case, it failed anyway. One more unit moves forward and they have an attack range of 3 and it's an 11. They will land a hit on this Ember Guard who stepped forward. He will go down. But now initiative will move back and the Ember Guard can activate 2 units. So the first unit to activate is Tharn Melkor, the commander. He will move 1 square and then he will aid his soldier back up. The second one to activate will be, let's see, the one here on the right flank. If he wants to shoot, he can only move 1 square, but he can move far enough to take a shot. The Grey Cloaks have a defense of 8, but with a roll of 3. That's nowhere near a hit. My Grey Cloaks can then activate 2 more units in this round. And this one can step forward and will be in shooting range. He will target the Ember Guard who already went down. No hit, but he can reroll, and that is way better. At 10 will beat the defense of the guard. He will go down once again. And can we take him out? No, not really. This Grey Cloak only moves forward. That leaves 1 activation, but there will be no Ember Guard near enough to aid their fallen comrade back up. So this guard will move 2 squares, the max range, and he will not be in shooting range of any of the Grey Cloaks now. That was the end of round 2. Both armies approach the center of the battlefield, the objective of the mission, and it could be a very bloody battle very soon. Round 3, another initiative. And with a 6, there is no doubt the Ember Guard will win with their +1 advantage, unless Vel Adrian will use his cloud tactics and steal the initiative, and he will do so. He can only use his special ability once per game. But the Ember Guards are hard to get down and keep down, so he takes the chance. And the Grey Cloaks activate first, and 1 Grey Cloak will move forward and melee attack the downed guard, and he is out. But the question is, was that 1 step too far? Now 2 Ember Guards can activate. This one will move forward 1 square and target the Grey Cloak here, and he rolls an 11, and it's a +2 attack quality, but remember, only a natural double 6 will be a deadly critical hit. So he will only go down, which of course is bad enough. The second Ember Guard to activate will be this soldier next to Tharn Melkor. He will move 1 square and target this Grey Cloak, and that's also a hit. So 2 Grey Cloaks down. That was a heavy price. 2 Grey Cloaks can activate now. This one will step forward, and he will be aggressive. He will target Tharn Melkor, the commander of the Ember Guard. He will have to roll 10, and he rolls a 9, but he can reroll 1 attack die, and it's another result of 9. Tharn Melkor's armor will hold. And with the second activation, Vel Adrian will move forward and aid this Grey Cloak soldier back up. Now the initiative is back to the Ember Guard. 2 activations, and Tharn Melkor, the commander, will begin. He will move 1 square, and then he will melee attack this Grey Cloak and take him off the battlefield. He's out. Both armies now have 4 units left. The second action is this guard. He will step forward 2 squares. That leaves 1 Grey Cloak to activate. In this third round, he will move forward and shoot. Ooh, and that's another roll of 11. Really good. He will not even have to re-roll. Another Ember Guard bites the dust, and the other guards are too far away to aid him up in the next round, even if they win the initiative. But let's see what happens. This is the end of round 3. The downed Ember Guard could really be in trouble, but we will see in the 4th round. Another initiative, and Vel Adrian has already used his Cloud tactics, so with a roll of 6, the Ember Guard will once again win the initiative. This time they will leave the first activation to the Grey Cloaks, because, well, that unit is already lost. The Grey Cloak will move in, melee attack him and take him out, and they now have one more unit on the battlefield. But they will leave the initiative to the guards. They can now activate 2 units. So the gunner over here will move 1 square forward, and he will attack. It's a 9 with the attack quality of +2. That will be added to the dice roll. It's enough to beat the defense of the Grey Cloak commander. And Tharn Malkor will step forward and try to finish his opponent, but he will roll really low. Luckily for Vel Adrian, who could easily have been taken out here. Now the Grey Cloaks can activate 2 units, and this one will aid Vel Adrian back up. He is back in the game. And then it only leaves the commander to activate, and he will move forward 2 squares, and then he will dual wield. That is a huge risk, but he can attack 2 adjacent enemies. He will roll separately for each of them. But they have +2 attack quality, Vel Adrian 0, but he can reroll. So he will defeat the first Ember Guard in melee combat. Even with a +2 advantage, he will defeat the guard. And not so lucky in the second attempt, and with his reroll, he will roll a 1. Vel Adrian will go down in his other attack, but he managed to defeat 1 guard. So now he's down and 1 guard is down. That leaves only 1 Ember Guard to activate. He will move forward and try to shoot at Vel Adrian. And he also fails with a 4 +2, only 6. Even though he is down, Vel Adrian's armor will keep him alive. The last Grey Cloak will attack in round 4. He will step to the side. He has a shooting range of 3. He can choose several targets, but he will point his weapon at Tharn Malkor. And he will not hit, but he will have another attempt with his reroll. If he can roll 5 or 6, he will take the commander down, but he can't. Tharn Malkor is still standing. And that concludes round 4. There are many units in the 3 central rows. Some of them are down, others are standing. Nothing is yet decided. Round 5. 4 Grey Cloaks versus 3 Ember Guards, and 1 unit on each side is down. That will be the beginning of round 4. And it's a 5 + 1 in initiative, but the Grey Cloaks roll 6. So that's a tie. We will roll again. And it's another tie. Could this be more exciting? 2 and apparently yes. Another tie, another reroll, and finally the Ember Guard will win. And Tharn Malkor can't resist. He will take the first activation himself, and he will remove Vel Adrian from the battlefield. So 1 commander takes out another. But that leaves 2 activations to the Grey Cloaks, and of course this one will move in and melee attack the downed Ember Guard and also take him out. But they can move once more, and that will be an attack on this guard. And a shot with 2 rolls of 2. So no rerolls will be able to change that. With that Ember Guard out, there is only 1 Ember Guard to activate, and that is this one. And he will point his weapon and shoot. It's a 3 and a roll of 1. He will not hit. No further casualties to the Grey Cloaks. Instead, 1 final Grey Cloak will point his weapon back at this guard and roll really, really bad. Before the final round, the Grey Cloaks have 3 standing units in the 3 central roles versus 2 guards. Could this really be a Grey Cloak victory? 1 round remaining and another initiative reroll before the Ember guards will begin this final round. And what will they do? They will choose to leave the initiative to the Grey Cloaks. 1 Grey Cloak can now activate. And who could that be? What would be the best? This one will step back. He will not risk a melee attack. Instead, he will shoot. And he will roll a 6 and a 1, but he can reroll. And he rolls another 6. It's a deadly shot. A critical hit that will immediately kill that Ember guard, leaving only Tharn Malkor on the battlefield. And he activates now. And he melee attacks the Grey Cloak right in front of him, and he cuts him down. Even with a reroll, there is no chance. He is down. But that will be nowhere near enough to secure the victory for the guards, because there are 2 standing Grey Cloaks left, and even though this hit will fail, they will still have the most units in the central rows of the battlefield at the end of round 6. That's a win. The Grey Cloaks are victorious. They will proceed to the 3rd round of missions, and exactly what mission they will proceed to and who they will face, you can find out yourself if you download the 3rd add-on to Crossfire Sector. And here you can find all 6 factions, along with all 6 commanders, all the basic rules and the optional rules, and the zombie defense mode, and 2 complete campaigns, including this one, all available on itch.io for free. If you have questions or suggestions to the game, feel free to ask them in the comments. I will of course continue to develop the game. I am already working on possible content for a add-on number 4. I'm also working on a battle report in 28mm scale with completely new miniatures for the game, and I have some suggestions if you're looking for minis that will suit the factions. But for now, thank you for watching this battle report. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll join me for future bad reps.